Now, I understand you have an interesting history that you started as a DJ and then your first role was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean,
So
technically, I started as a
explain that.
technically I started as a drag artist. Actually, I actually
You
started as a
started as a
drag
drag
artist.
artist. Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah, that was my first foray.
Okay. Okay.
I
Start at
hate.
the beginning. Start at the beginning. Start with drag artist, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of segues in my career. They started off as a drag artist. I always say that's what taught me how to act, because you're definitely playing a character a lot. You're playing someone who's definitely not yourself. Um, then I moved into being a DJ, which I've done now for 25 years. I still do. In fact, during the first season of Game of Thrones, I still would have DJed at the same time. I would have been like till 3 a.m. and then straight on the set for 6 a.m. That was fun. But yeah, and that's just progressed. I sort of moved in more into acting now. I do both really, and I feel so lucky to have two jobs that I really love. I mean, not everyone can say that, and I've done Game of Thrones now. I'm currently in Our Flag Means Death, and with Taika Waititi. It's just been a crazy wild journey, and I don't really know how it happened.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, what I do. Well, one thing I do always say is it's always about saying yes.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen that movie with Jim Carrey, the Yes Man, isn't it? Uh, I've always said yes to challenges, and
So
here I am.
how is it that you got cast in Game of Thrones?
Um, through the drag thing, I had sort of loosely an agent, and he would have sent me for occasional auditions. Um, and one of them was for a movie called Hot Fuzz with Simon Pegg, which I'm sure you've heard of. Um, and it was the same casting director for Game of Thrones. She remembered me 4 years later. I got a call back and they told me about the part of Hodor. I didn't necessarily understand what the part was. I didn't know anything about Game of Thrones. She told me there's only one word involved, and I was kind of like, "What?" Um, but yeah, the role came along. I accepted it, and my life completely changed from that day forward.
So how did you get into this character of Hodor and learn about that? Or did you read all the books? Like, how did you get immerse yourself into that world?
I have not read the books. I am shameful to say I have not read the books. I've told George Martin I haven't read the books, so if I can tell him, I can tell anybody. I'm not going to read them at this stage, I don't think. But my mother was a huge Game of Thrones fan before I ever took the part, and she over dinner for the next 6 months she would tell me more and more about what was coming. I know, and she always maintained that something big would happen with Hodor. She's like, I know something's coming, and I know something big is going to happen, and little did I know it would be his death, but
Yeah, I
it
mean, what
certainly
about
did.
that moment? I mean, it's one of the biggest moments in the whole series that
Yeah.
and it was you. I mean, what was it like to shoot that? I mean, were you shocked when you got that?
I don't think anyone in Game of Thrones was ever shocked to die because everybody dies horribly. Um, and I think every season we all kind of thumb through the script and say, when am I going to die? You know, and so on season 6, yeah, I read it. My friend Finn Jones, who played Loras Tyrell, he actually read it first and called me and said, "You're gonna die." Um, I read this. I read the scene, and it was incredible. Um, but it didn't prepare me for the reaction. Didn't prepare me for the reaction at all. I knew people would be upset, but um, it was crazy time. It was absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite moment of having worked on that series?
Oh wow, it was 6 years, man. Um, I mean, I always say the best takeaway was working with such an amazing cast. As a whole, it was just an incredible group of people. Um, and also, funny enough, getting back to Ireland, I'm obviously from Westeros, the real life Westeros, and it was really great to see the local like scenery and being used in such a massive production. And people now it's become a huge tourist destination for that very reason. So I'm very proud of it, and it was amazing to see it like on a world stage.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, We have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.